There was a surprise holder of the world's richest individual tag last week. It was Larry Ellison. He's not new to the billionaires club. Remember Oracle? Yes, it's still a very big company, but it has sort of stayed on the sidelines of the tech glitz in recent years, all thanks to the likes of Google, Meta, and Amazon. 81-year-old Ellison co-founded Oracle in 1977. In this edition of AISight or AISight, we'll talk about Oracle, how Ellison left Elon Musk behind to become the richest man, though very briefly, and what the future looks like for the 50-year-old US company. And then we'll also talk about Meta's latest AI glasses and the neural band. To cap off the episode, we'll also talk about a new study that throws light on how the usage pattern of AI is shaping up. To begin, let's go back in time. Larry Ellison founded Oracle in California along with his partners Bob Miner and Ed Oates in 1977. But it wasn't called Oracle then. It was named Software Development Laboratories. And from where did the idea of the company originate? Oracle was actually inspired by a research paper by British scientist Edgar F. Codd, who was working with IBM. He wrote about the relational database model. And what is that? Let me illustrate it with an example. Large amounts of information or data sets could already be saved in computers by the year 1977. But finding that information wasn't that easy. Imagine having a giant cupboard with thousands of drawers. But how does one know which one to open for a specific piece of information? Oracle's idea was to arrange this information in an organized manner. Think of neatly arranged spreadsheets where everything is interconnected. Now, a special computer language called SQL was developed at IBM in the 1970s. Well, technically, it was initially called SQL, short for Structured English Query Language. And this was based on Codd's insights. But it was Oracle that built the first commercial database that used SQL as its language. Software Development Laboratories released Oracle in 1979, and it quickly became a game changer for banks, governments, and big companies that needed to work with vast datasets. It was also around this point that the company was renamed to Relational Software Inc. It then finally took the name Oracle Corporation in 1982 and went public in 1986, trading on the New York Stock Exchange as Oracle Corp. And what happened with Ellison's wealth on Wednesday last week was all to do with the stock markets. News broke on September 10 that OpenAI had signed a contract to purchase $300 billion in computing power over 5 years from Oracle, which is among the biggest deals in history. And naturally, the markets went wild. Oracle shares surged 43%, its biggest one-day percentage jump since 1992, and Ellison raced past Elon Musk in individual wealth. For a very brief period, he was richer than Musk in the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. His wealth went up by $89 billion after Oracle reported quarterly results well above expectations. The company announced 4 multi-billion-dollar contracts led by companies such as OpenAI and xAI. The latest increase in Ellison's wealth took his total net worth to $383.2 billion, which is the biggest one-day increase ever recorded. And for most of the day, he was ahead of Musk in the index, only to be edged down a little later. This surge in Oracle's stock also added $97 million to the company's CEO and many other current and foreign employees. Oracle invests heavily in open source technologies, and its products are used worldwide in government services, telecom companies, and healthcare. Over time, it went from being just a database company to an enterprise giant. It bought companies like PeopleSoft, Siebel, and Sun Microsystems, which is the home of Java and Solaris. But as the 2010s set in, focus moved to companies like Microsoft and Google. And because Oracle had no consumer-facing product, it largely disappeared from the everyday tech conversations. From there, let's jump to what's happening today. Oracle is back in public conversation, and it has AI to thank for it. Its expertise in large databases and capabilities in cloud infra are two very crucial things AI platforms are hunting for. And this also brings Larry Ellison, 41% of whose wealth is tied to the company, back into focus. Not that he's someone who needs attention though. I mean, the guy played himself in the movie Iron Man 2. The world has heard stories about his lifestyle and brash personality. And something Ellison said in an earnings call is very telling for the tech world, that AI changes everything. And in this new world that is starting to hinge on AI, there's another new development. Meta has just unveiled its new Ray-Ban display smart glasses and a neural band to go with it. Unlike the earlier Meta Ray-Ban glasses that only had cameras and audio, these glasses now have a tiny display in the lens that shows text, translations, maps, or even captions. Think of it as a heads-up display. The neural band is worn on the wrist and functions on muscle signals from the arm. Basically, it uses EMG sensors. EMG stands for electromyography, which detects small electrical signals generated by muscle activity. Based on these signals produced by certain gestures and finger movements, the device can allow you to scroll, type, or even control the glasses with subtle movements. And the platform uses AI for stuff like translations and visual recognition. If the glasses effectively deliver all that Mark Zuckerberg promised at the launch, there would be a big jump compared to previous devices like Google Glass, Snap's Spectacles, or Meta's own Ray-Ban Stories. Now, wearables and auxiliary usage aside, OpenAI has just released what it calls the largest study so far on how people directly use ChatGPT. The findings show that as of mid 2025, ChatGPT's early gender gaps have narrowed. In January 2024, going by the names of people using ChatGPT, OpenAI says that 37% people appear to be women. By July 2025, this number had risen to 52%. The study shows that ChatGPT consumer usage is largely about getting everyday tasks done. 3/4 of conversations focus on seeking information, guidance, and writing, with writing being the most common task. Patterns of use were also classified in terms of asking, doing, and expressing. 49% users were asking, a growing category that shows people are using ChatGPT as an advisor. 40% users are carrying out tasks such as drafting text, planning, or programming. And 11% users are usually doing stuff like personal reflection and exploration. Approximately 30% of consumer usage is work-related and 70% is non-work. OpenAI says that the findings show not only who is using AI and what they are using it for, but also the fact that it is creating real economic value.